Episode 6, Hakaishin Mooni. They entered the city under its large gates, following the crowds of people travelling towards the centre of the city. The further they went, the more stalls and shops appeared, selling all sorts of goods, from armour and weaponry to cloth and food. Yet, no matter how many shops and stalls Nag saw, he found none of them were selling milk. Eventually, he gave in and approached an old woman sitting on a bench.
"Excuse me." "Huh?"
The old woman croaked.
Excuse me,"
Nags repeated.
"Can you help me? I'm looking for some milk." "Why the fuck are you looking for milk?"
she retorted, looking down on Nags.
"Don't waste your time trying to fool me. I may be old, but I am far from stupid, so scram."
She shook her head, glaring at Nags even as he shrunk back and walked away. Cedar placed a caring hand on his shoulder, rubbing it gently. Carrying on, now afraid to ask anyone else, they walked to the very edge of the shopping district. Still milkless and with no more options, Nags hung his head, wondering whether he'd ever get to leave this hellscape.
"Come on, Nags. It's too early to give up. I'm sure you'll find milk somewhere."
Cedar consoled.
"Look, why not try asking someone who isn't about to die? Like, that guy over there."
Cedar pointed over towards a smartly dressed gentleman standing by an alleyway.
"Okay."
Nags sniffled, looking down at the ground as he approached.
Excuse me."
"What do you want, eh?"
The man's rotten breath made Nags reel back, like the first time he smelt his own chair after stream that one time.
Well, I'm a busy man here.
The man pulled down his stained collar, revealing a cowbell tattoo on his collarbone.
"Nags,
Cedar urged, pulling lightly on his shoulder.
I was wondering if you know where I could find milk. Regular cow's milk."
Nags stuttered, ignoring Cedar. The man's eyes glinted, and his attitude did a complete 180.
Ah, I see. You've come to the right place, mate. I know a place. Just follow me, and I'll get you there.
He smiled, gesturing grandly to the alleyway behind him.
Nags, we really shouldn't."
Cedar advised under her breath.
Listen, he's..."
I'm sure it will be fine. You can't judge a book by its cover, you know. Plus, this is my first lead on real milk.
"You're not wrong, but his attitude and Nags, that tattoo..."
You alright back there? Come in, it's not far.
The man interrupted, glaring at Cedar as he spoke.
Yes, sorry.
Nags answered, following without a hint of caution. The man led them through a maze of alleyways and back streets. Hooded individuals whispering in corners ended their conversation as the group passed, glaring at Nags and Cedar. Turning another corner, they saw a group of fiercely angry men sitting on wooden boxes, playing with knives. Yet despite the shady setting and the numerous glares they received, Nags didn't seem to realize, or at least pay attention to it. His focus on achieving his goal was the sole thing causing the rusty cogs in his mind to grind forward. They don't call him a Prof G for nothing. Just as the stench of depravity rose in the streets before them, a shop came into view. The storefront was covered by an old rag that hung from a makeshift doorframe. In front of the shop lay some rusted farm tools and several pieces of furniture in varying degrees of disrepair. It looked similar to an antique shop, except without that homely, warm feeling they usually give off.
Alright, you two, wait here, and I'll have a word with the boss.
The man said, before disappearing under the rag. Before Cedar could try to warn Nags again, the man reappeared.
He'll see ya.
The man ushered them into the shop. As they entered, he glanced around the area, After checking the empty streets, a wicked smile split his face and he followed them into the shop. Much like the outside of the store, the inside was an unorganized rabble. Nags looked around, astonished by just how much trash filled the rickety shelves. On one shelf was a literal empty packet of crisps. Apart from the odd, ominously glowing object, it felt like he was browsing Craigslist, including a convincingly celebrity-shaped crisp section. Reaching the till, the group was assaulted by a smell so bad it rivaled the chibi and onigiri stench he experienced at TwitchCon.
New customers. You were looking for milk, right?
A voice sounded behind another rag. The rag moved aside as a donut wearing a Hakaishin shirt appeared.
I'm Pervert Donut, and I hear you're looking for milk.
It spoke. Yes, Nags confirmed, taking a short while to take in the bizarre sight.
Well, let's get down to business. How does 20,000 mod coins sound?
I don't have any.
Nags admitted.
You what? Then get the fuck...
The donut roared.
Wait. Oh my.
He stopped mid-sentence, staring at Cedar's assets.
You know what? I think we can come to an arrangement. Either you go get me some grade 9 milk, or me and that beautiful lady over there can get to know each other a lot better.
He suggested, imagining his first time holding a woman's hand.
Oh, that's easy.
Cedar answered. She immediately began lifting her shirt, captivating the room. Donut's heart pumped so hard it began vibrating, putting him on the edge of passing out. Boom! The wall exploded as a pink ball of laughing fury smashed through it. Less than a moment later, a bald man flew through the air, his head passing cleanly through Donut's hole, the one in the middle of his body, before his fat belly got stuck, taking Donut with him as they flew into the opposing wall. In Donut's place, a pink-haired cat girl, whose tail was as long as her torso, triumphantly stood.
Ah ha ha ha! That's what you get, you, criminal!
She laughed, holding her hand on her hip while pointing at them.
Mooney? Hey, Nags!
She needlessly shouted.
What are you doing here? I got sniffed into this hellhole by Nagnose. Oh, me too!
She replied, still yelling.
Now I gotta take down a crime syndicate, which is tons of fun. What? Why do you get a cool girl?
Nags complained again. You're not a cute cat girl.
I should have known that would be your response.
Nags sighed.
Who's he talking to?
Mooney asked Cedar, who just shrugged in response. Out of nowhere, the shop began to fill with a crowd of angry, unsavory individuals.
No one messes with the others and gets away with it.
One of them growled. With no more warning, they all charged at Mooney, determined to crush her.
I love this bit.
Mooney smiled, starting to bounce on the balls of her feet. The first guy reached her, his fist ready to strike her. Before he realized it, Mooney had swung around, throwing a beautiful roundhouse kick into his face. The man went flying, crashing through the walls of the shop. The next enemy conveniently tacked straight afterwards, throwing a left hook through the air just above Mooney's head as she ducked under it. Mooney simply elbowed the man in his pot belly, also sending him through an adjacent wall and out into the street. The house groaned dangerously, prompting Nags and Cedar to exit the building, as Mooney, still holding the legs of another assailant, spun the woman around her, using the poor individual as a club against her gangmates.
Over here, quickly!
Hearing angry shouts from the streets around them, Nags and Cedar decide it's high time they get out of there. Walking away from the scene, more and more gang members appeared from the streets, forcing them to change directions.
Oi, you too!
Someone shouted. Nags ran. Hearing Stapes rushing after him, he started running faster and faster. In practically no time at all, he was running at full speed, a feat he hadn't managed in many years. Turning a corner, he noticed a pink shape in front of him, dancing before a mountain of unconscious people, as she flung more and more gang members into the air. Unable to stop, Nags ploughed straight into her. She caught Nags, flipping with him in her arms before throwing him with all her strength into the air. Too distracted to notice what she had done before it was too late, Nags disappeared into the sky with the glint of sunlight reflecting off his huge forehead. Written and narrated by Some Crow. I'd like to pass on a huge thank you to my voice actors, Ray, who played Cedar, AWSM, who played the Yobs, Slurm, who played Perverted Donut. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening.